so far. All right, we still have about a minute until class begins. So, how are you girls doing?
Doing things last minute as usual.
Now, you know this is not going on until the third marking period, right? The one that we're just working on. This goes on third marking period. Hey, Layla. So you don't, we're still working on this. So obviously it's not going to be on the second marking period. The last thing for the second marking period will be that 1 point perspective practice drawing. You know, the one that we already finished last week. So let that be the last thing. And it doesn't even have to have everything we drew. You know, if you had a hard time drawing like little details, just try to have like the big things, like the big furniture pieces and the walls and the light. You know, and if you can't draw the light that we drew, then you can draw a more simpler version. And that is perfectly okay with me. You work at your own pace and you work at your own skill level, okay? And if something doesn't look exactly like my example, that's okay too. That's okay too. I've been drawing for over 30 years, you know, like that. I'm not going to expect perfection. There is no such perfection even for me. There is not. Um, that's one of the things that I've realized just over the years that's a truth, right? But it's those moments where things are so close to being what you think is perfect timing, that drives us on high. So that drives us forward, that excites us, that keeps us going. It's like when we do have those small moments of success that even surprise us. So as an artist, those are the things that keep us going. I think those are the things that keep you going in whatever you do. When you have some sort of a surprise success moment, you know, it's not a surprise. You work for it. So right now we're looking kind of basic here, so we're gonna put down a lot of stuff today. I'm gonna show you how to put the pillows on top of this bed. Maybe we'll put we'll put a line for the sheets. That's really easy. We'll draw some pillows. We'll draw some curtains. We'll do the floor, and then we could think about maybe a dresser over here. So maybe we should do the dresser before the curtains, because we'll end up erasing part of the curtains if we put something in front of this window. And it's just going to be a part of a dresser so that we don't have to draw the whole thing. All right, I can see, let's see here. Okay, most of us are in here, so let me continue taking roll. All right, I can see Amira was really excited about continuing this drawing, right, Amira? Say yes. Amira's not saying anything. Okay. Aaliyah Villavong is here. And Beyonce Berthold is here. And Ashley Lindig is here. Ashley's here. And let's see, Charlay. Hello, Charlay. Charlay Rich is here. Christine Mom is here. Siani Johnson is here. Siani Johnson. Okay, here. Siani Johnson is here. May is here. Jasmine Hunt is here. And let's see here. Kayla Duford is here. Kayla Duford. Kayla Thomas is here. And Kayla Leonard is here. Here we go. And Kanai Skinner. Kayla Tra Wing is here. Forgot Kayla Tra Wing. Can't forget Kayla Tra Wing. Kanai Skinner, I think I already got you. And also Kylie Adams is here. Okay. Layla Dixon is here. Layla Dixon. And Mazai, I got May already. Mazai Smith, I'm going to get right here. Here we go. And Makai. And Nadira Felder. And Rachel. And Sanila Warren. Sanila Warren, let's see. More. Here we go. And Tajay Agat and Zareen. These are the students who are out today. Mecca Cope. Let me just double check here. Okay. Mecca Cope, just watch the video if you're leaving, okay? Okay. Mecca Cope, it is being recorded. And Janae Lawson. Is Janae here? No, not yet. Aaliyah McDaniels. I'm looking for Aaliyah McDaniels. Nope. And Journey. Where's Journey? Yes.
I actually have a question about the video thing.
Okay.
So are you guys doing it like a full, like the whole thing, or like is it in parts?
How are we doing that?
It's whatever's up there.
Whatever's up there.
Some are complete classes, some are parts.
Oh. I was told that some were complete classes and some were parts. Which are we talking about? You were talking about the 1 point perspective. Is that what you want to watch for this class?
No, not the 2 point.
Oh, this one here.
Well, it's been this week, so just.
Oh, but we did tape. Yeah, we did tape almost all of this, our progress for this week. So this is not going to be. It's not going to be one continuous video, is it?
She just has to look and see what's up there.
Okay. I think it's going to be more than one video because he's been putting it up after each class. So it's going to be more than one video. But it should be labeled 2 point perspective. Is it labeled 2 points so they can find?
It's by date and class.
It's by date and class.
Because I don't know what you're covering. It's just by date and class.
Okay. All right, we're going to have to rename these so it's a little bit clearer for you. I was just told it's by date and class. So you want to watch your class's video and you want to watch the most recent dates. And that's going to be the dates for this week. So what you want to do is go and look at the videos. Well, we started this actually. We started this last week. So look at like the videos from the 14th. That's where this drawing is dated. Look for the videos from like around the 14th to now. Okay? And I'll take a look and see if we can reorganize these things because this is the second time maybe it is that someone has mentioned it. Maybe these can be a little bit organized better or renamed. So just look at the most recent videos and look for period 6. Could you do that for now? Okay. And then you should see something because they're up. The whatever we've done so far for this 2 point perspective is up. Okay, and it has your class's name on it. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Kylie Adams, Zareen. Okay. So Journey, I'm looking for Journey. Okay. How about Swabra Salim? I'm looking for Swabra. Not here yet. And Katie. Katie. Is she here today? Katie Torre. No. Okay. So anyone who comes in after now is late. Okay. All right. So we are right here. And you can, if you are having issues, I mean, I will answer any questions right now. Is there any particular part of the drawing that you're having trouble with? Some people are just having trouble with even just the room. Getting the walls, anything in particular?
The door.
The door? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this sheet of tracing paper. It's a little bit of a different color, so you can see that I'm drawing on a separate piece. And I'll just go over the door part. Okay, you should still be able to see the original drawing, right? Okay, so pin the drawing. And when you start drawing the door, let's do a rough copy of the door. I want you to draw the line for the inside of the door. Just sketch out the inside of the door and where you want it to be. Just the opening or the hole in the opening. I mean in the door. Okay? And let's just say that this is the line for the floor. Okay? Which it is. And here's the line for the ceiling. So what we have right here is just this. Do you see this? Okay, it doesn't even have to be in the correct perspective. So I want you to just start with the opening of the door like that. Okay, and that's just the opening. All this structure on the outside of the door, I'm going to get to in a minute. Okay, so let's just draw the opening. So this is a vanishing point 1 line, but don't worry about that. You just want to figure out where you want the door opening to be, like you're cutting a hole in the wall. Okay, there's no borders, no structure around it at all. It's just the hole in the wall. And just leave a good amount of space. I would say, when I say good amount of space, maybe a little bit more than 1/4 of the way down. Like if you look at this whole length here, about 1/4 of the way down from the top of this space right here between this line and this line is where maybe the door, the top of the door opening should be. Okay. And if there's little differences, then that's fine. Now I want you to go ahead and put in the good lines using your ruler. Draw that door opening using vanishing point 1. Okay, draw that door opening using vanishing 1 and just vanishing point 1, which is right over here. Okay. Over. Okay, vanishing point 1 over here, and just make sure that the top of that doorway is the correct angle. Okay, and then go back in, and I'm going to just put this off to the side. Make sure that all your lines are nice and vertical and straight. So then go over those lines. Okay. The next thing that you're going to do with the doorway is to extend this one line down a little bit past, just a tiny bit past the line for the floor where it meets the wall. So I'm going to raise that up a little bit. You see how that line on the bottom of the doorway goes a little bit past that line where the wall meets the floor? Okay. Okay, that's how to. We're going to make that line, extend that line a little bit further. Why? Because we're going to draw the molding around the door, which is like a picture frame around a picture. And we have to account for the thickness of that material. All right, so we're going to just draw that, extend that line down just a little bit, okay? And then what we're going to do is draw a line to vanishing point 1, extend a line out toward the left and to the right to give yourself this line over here, which is parallel to the wall line, okay? We're going to use a part of that line to draw the base of the molding. And I'll tell you, you'll be able to see it in just a second. I want you to draw two parallel lines. So we're going to draw like a little frame around the opening to the door. What you should keep in mind is that the sides are vertical lines, and this side over here should go down to the second line that we just drew. And the molding on this side should be skinnier than the molding on this side, because it's further away from us, so it should look, the spaces get smaller and closer together. Same thing over here. The doorway is parallel and vertical, but it should be a little bit thicker than the molding on the doorway. Let the line go all the way down to the new line that we just drew. Okay? So it looks like this. Like that. So we're now starting to draw the little frame around the doorway. Okay? And then I want you to draw the frame around the top. Now this is going to be a vanishing point 1 line. So that's going to be over here. So let's place this back where it was. Now that's just the inside opening to the doorway, and now we're just starting to draw the outside of the doorway. And we're using our extended ruler, lining it up with vanishing point 1, and what you should get is a angled line up there, like that. And that forms the top of the doorway. Okay? And bring all your vertical lines that form the side of your doorway, that's actually the frame around the doorway, all the way down to this second line we drew. Okay? And then just darken the lines right underneath those little strips of molding. You can get rid of the rest of the line now that you're done drawing. This little short line at the bottom of the molding here and on the left side too. You don't need these lines out here past the doorway. So this is what you have now. So you have the doorway frame itself, you have the line for where the floor meets the wall, and you have the little doorway, and you could go ahead and connect the inside corners to the outside with diagonal lines like that. Okay, so let's get right here if you're doing the doorway again. Okay, Mecca is here. Okay. Okay, now when you're done that, what we're going to do is draw the inside of the doorway right here. And it's actually a pretty thick piece of wood. If you've ever looked on the inside of the doorway that separates one room from the other, it's like a big slat of wood. And sometimes it's like 6 inches wide, 7 inches wide, it's around that width. So what we're going to have to do is take our ruler. I'm going to do it to the side here so that these lines here don't, confuse you on this doorway. Let's look at this one that we're doing. And what we're doing right now is we're going over the doorway part so that everybody who didn't understand how to draw that can maybe understand it better now. So I'm going to stop right here at the line for where the wall was supposed to meet the floor, okay? Right there for this line. I want you to connect the corner, the right lower hand corner, right here of the molding to the end of that line right here. Can you just connect it like this? And that will finish the bottom of the left side of the doorway. It will make it look three-dimensional, like you're turning a corner here, like the corner of a box. Okay, so that's the tricky part right there. Now you're going to do the same thing to the other side right here, but you have a much shorter distance, don't you, from the corner over here to the wall. So let's just hand draw a little line right there, and I'll show you that line that I just drew. Okay, that little line right here where my finger is, right there. Right there, that little tiny line right there. All right, you connected now the doorway molding to the wall. Now I'm going to go straight up with a vertical line from there, and it should look like a much thinner strip on this side. Because this is actually the thickness of the little frame around the doorway, it's not like a separate piece of wood. This is something else. When you get to the top, how should you connect this corner to this new line over here? This new line that's on the very far right. How do you connect it? Well, you could just draw an angled line downward, but that's not really accurate. But no one will know because it's such a short line. Or you can use vanishing point 2 because that's really what you're supposed to use. Okay, so vanishing point 2 is right over there. I'll line up my little tracing paper example. All right. And point my ruler toward vanishing point 2 and just draw that little angle. It's a very small little line and it angles downward like that. And that's how, oh, and we forgot one more thing. The bottom of the doorway here. When we look up at the bottom of the doorway, the underside of this piece right here, we do see a little skinny strip of wood, the underside, but it's not as wide as this because of our point of view. So I just want you to draw a little skinny line going toward vanishing point 1. Yes, it is a vanishing point line. So any and all horizontal lines that are on these walls, on these two walls, are either going to be vanishing point 1 or vanishing point 2 lines. So after you draw that line, that little skinny line, so it looks like there's a piece of molding here, and then there's the underside, and it's basically this same piece of wood, but you only see a tiny sliver of it up there, or under there. So it should look like this so far. Okay. So how do we connect this surface to this corner? You just use a ruler, or you can just hand draw that little angle, and then erase this tiny little piece of this line from the side when you were drawing the side, and then that should complete the doorway. That's how to draw the doorway in a three-dimensional way. Okay. I hope that helps anyone who had issues with the doorway. Anybody have a question about the doorway so far? Okay, so I just basically, I connected the inside corner here to the inside corner over here, and I just connected it with an angle, so it looks like a slanted line over there. You don't have to connect it here. Why? Because this piece of wood here overlaps that area, so you do not see how they connect over on this side, because this piece of wood is in the way because of the point of view. Okay? So I'm going to go on here. If there is no other questions about the doorway, and we're going to do just a very, very simple thing here. We're just going to put some sheets on the bed and use vanishing point 1 to draw a line that's parallel to that line, but draw it real, real lightly, because we're going to replace this line here with a hand-drawn line, because it's cloth, and we don't want cloth to look like the line to look too straight, because cloth, folds and wrinkles. And then from here, we're going to drop a line straight down. You could even draw it by hand. It doesn't have to be perfectly vertical, because you know what? Because this is just a hand-drawn line. So I'm going to go back and replace this line with a hand-drawn line, which is not perfect, right? It's going to have some little curvy waves to it, and so it looks a little bit more natural. And now it looks like we have a sheet folded over the top of our blanket. I don't know if you do that. We don't use sheets, and there's no sheets in a lot of Asian cultures in our bedding. Most of the time, traditionally, even in my generation, we slept on the floor on real thick blankets or futons. So we didn't have mattresses, we didn't have sheets, because we didn't have mattresses. So now we're going to draw some pillows. And the pillows, you can prop them right up against the bed, but I like to give it a more natural feel and draw them a little bit on the, like toward the inside of the mattress. I like to draw an oval. Just, it doesn't have to be perfect. I like to draw kind of like an oval shape or a rice shape, something like that. A long skinny hot dog shape, whatever you want to call it. It looks like a Cheeto on the side right here. That is going to be the approximate height of my pillow. And if you look, it looks like it's leaning at an angle. It looks like a macaroni noodle, whatever you want it to call it. Okay, but that represents kind of like the side of my pillow. And right here where it's the highest is the top. Okay, the top of the curve right there, and this is the bottom right there. Okay, so let's just, instead of a line there, let's just put a point up there, like a little dot. So let's put a dot in the middle and a little dot on the end. And then I want you to draw a line from those dots at the very top and bottom of that pickle, looks like a pickle now, to the vanishing point 1. And what that's going to give you is like the top of your pillow. And you know now what the bottom dot is going to do when you draw to vanishing point 1. That's going to represent the bottom of the pillow. And I'm just going to erase the line here for the back of the mattress because the pillow is covering that up at this point. So this is what we have so far. Okay, you should have something like this, where you have a line at the top now and a line at the bottom, and I just put a little dot at the very top and bottom of this weird little, little noodle shape or skinny oval. Now, to draw the other end of the pillow, we want to kind of repeat this line. Doesn't have to be exact because pillows get all squished in and you change their shape by laying on them. So we want to at least kind of reflect this type of shape. So we're going to draw like a slightly curvy line over there on that side. And then erase the line for the bed. So that's the end of the pillow. So right now it just looks like a humongous body pillow, what you would call like a body pillow. Okay. If you want to keep a long body pillow as your pillow, that's fine. That's fine. If you want to cut this up into 2 separate pillows, there's a problem, which is this pillow has to be drawn bigger and this one has to be drawn a little smaller because it's further away from us, right? So in order to do that, we have to kind of find the center, and that's not hard. You just crisscross at the corner of the pillow, and this is the corner right here on this surface, on the top surface. Not this doesn't count right here.
I have a question.
What's your question?
When we use the vanishing point, didn't we already make one side smaller than the other?
We did, but that's going to affect the height of the pillow, but we're trying to determine the width.
Okay. Thank you.
So that's a good question. Is that you, Kayla? Who was that?
Yeah.
Always with the good questions. So that's a good question. So you see the middle of the X right there? That is the middle of this length, but we're looking at it at an angle, right? So this half is always going to appear a little bit longer. So we're trying to determine the width of the pillow that's closest to us. So once again, this kind of curved convex line, I'm going to draw another one going at an angle, going through that dot right there. So when we do that, that will cut this pillow into 2 halves. Now, it still looks weird because it still looks like it's attached to this pillow. So what I want you to do is move over just a little bit. If you want an exact measurement, like 1/8 of an inch, maybe even less, and draw a line that's parallel to this one, and let it also be convex, like that. So now you have 2 lines that are convex Okay, so that it's convex so that the pillow looks kind of puffy. But it still doesn't look correct because there's this little straight line up here. So I'm going to erase the line in between those two convex but parallel lines, and I'm going to draw the back curve, just a little slight peak of the back curve, and now you have split the pillow in half. So it basically looks like two marshmallows. Thank you, Kayla. It is the end of class since it's Friday, so I will see you on Monday, and we're not too far from finishing. We just have little things to do, and then we'll be done this. All right, have a good weekend. Be safe, be careful, and I'll see you. Yes, Tajay?
Can I show my picture?
Of course. Let me click on there.
I did the door again when you showed us the first time, the second
Okay.
time. And
Okay.
then I was trying to finish the bed.
Mhm.
I don't know, probably still look slanted.
The door, the door frame is hanging up in the air. You gotta extend it down past the wall line.
Okay.
Yeah, this part right here, this surface here has to be drawn past the door line. These two lines here. So if you can fix this one and then use the ruler to line up where this line's supposed to go, and then extend this to meet this line, it will fix it. Your bed, your bed still looks a little bit skewed there. You know what it is? Just double check this line. Maybe it's supposed to be more angled down, because the problem is, yeah, you just double check this and this angle. There's something a little off about it, okay? And then bring this piece of molding a little bit past the floor line.
Okay.
Okay, because you have it lined up. Yeah, you have it lined up right with the floor line so that it looks like it's floating, and that there is a gap, that the molding was too short and doesn't reach all the way to the floor. Okay?
I see it.
Okay. All right. So if you can just extend, yeah, if you could, whoa, that looks good.
Designing inside.
Okay, okay. So is that, are you going to paint that? And you could paint it with a little bit of food coloring if you don't have paint. You could use any of those things.
I have these kind of paints.
Okay, like acrylic craft paints?
Yeah.
All right, that'll work. That'll work. All right, Tajay, I gotta go to 7th period because they're gonna start. They're gonna want to start coming into class, so I will see you on Monday. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Do your best. Bye.